Hi, okay, so in today's project I saw these little wax melts in my local Tesco store and they had a couple of different colours and they like really cheap as chips. And I know I don't want to mention the Christmas word, but I always found when my little girl was at school that once you get into October, it's kind of the run into Christmas. You're organising, your Christmas fairs, Christmas stalls, all that kind of thing. And also, I used to give the teachers in the school a little gift at Christmas time. It was only a small school that my daughter went to. So I was able to give a little gift to each teacher. And then including dinner staff and that kind of thing. I think I may have had maybe, 8 or 10 gifts to give. So I didn't want to be spending a lot of money. So I used to make little things like this. I've done little calendars, I've done, post-it notes, all sorts of things. And I just thought that if you bought a bundle of these from your local supermarket and you made them into little individual gifts, they've not cost you a lot of money. They'll be cheap to make because it's minimal supplies. And it's just a token thank you, isn't it, at Christmas. So this particular one is sea salt and sandalwood and it's grey. And I thought it looked very much like our smoky slate. So that's where I'm going with this. So I'll tell you what you need. A piece of card, in this case I'm using smoky slate, 7 1/4 by 4. I've gone with a piece of Pool Party from our designer series 6x6 paper stack, and I'm going to use the script, I think. And this is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. I've got a piece of Whisper White to mat on top of here, which I'm going to do my stamping on. And this is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And I've got 2 scraps, one smoky slate and one grey, because I'm not sure yet which one I want to stamp my greeting on. And then I'm going to use a little rhinestone. The stamp set that I'm going to use is On to Adventure. I love these little characters. I think they're brilliant. I just think they're so whimsical. And I'm using this one here. And the sentiment I'm going to use with it is Follow Your Bliss. But this stamp set has got wishing you everything wonderful, follow your bliss, smile, happy retirement, congratulations on your next adventure, but you could mask that bit off and just have congratulations, ready for that hole in one. So you've got the little guy with the camera, you've got the guy with the golf flag. I love her. I've done some bookmarks using her with a little suitcase and a flower in a hat. And then this one, as I say, we're going to use today. So to save some time, I've mounted up the 2 stamps I'm going to use, and I'm going to do the stamping first, and then I can just pop that on one side and show you how to make the little project. And I will be giving a kit away in October, so please leave me a comment on the blog post, which will be linked under the video, and I will draw one random name for anybody in the UK only, I'm afraid, and I'll post the kit out. The only thing I'm not allowed to send to you is the stamped image itself, so you'll have all the elements, the little rhinestone in a little pack. And then if you've got this set, you can stamp it yourself. If not, you can use a different stamp and just make up the project. So that's going to be October blog candy for anybody in the UK that leaves me a comment under the blog post. So let's get I'm going to ink this up in Memento Tuxedo Black. I mean, these are really quick little projects to make. You could make, several of these in an evening. Right, I'm going to stamp her as near to the middle as I can get on this piece of Whisper White. And that's how she's looking. going to give her some colour, but I'm going to leave her to dry for now. And then I'm going to get the Follow Your Bliss, and I'm going to bring in the 2 scraps, because as I say, I'm not sure which one I want to use. So I'm going to stamp it on the grey, and I'm also going to stamp it on the scrap of Whisper White. So I'll just move these all out of the way for now, and I'll put those on one side. Going to bring in my Simply scoreboard, and on the 7 1/4 inch side I'm going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, 3 1/4, 4 and 6 1/2. And on the 4 inch side, I'm going to score it at 3/4 of an inch on each side. So I'm going to score it, flip it round, and do it again at 3/4. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to turn it over, and with my bone folder, I'm going to fold and burnish on each of the score lines that I've just made. So now I'm going to cut up just on the score line of each of these sections on either side. And then on the middle sections, I'm just going to notch them. I'll show you in a minute. Just cutting a little wedge off either side. And I'm going to do the end ones, but just on the inside, not on the outside for now. I may trim them when the box goes together, but just for now I'll leave it like that. You're basically just cutting away that score line. Let me move my rubbish out of the way and I'll show you what we've got. So this is how it's looking now. So if you're using something that's directional, obviously you need to make sure which is going to be your top and your bottom, because 4 of the tabs are going to stick to one half, and that's going to be the bottom, and the other half's going to be the top. Mine's just plain at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use some wet glue. And I'm just applying glue on 4 of the corners, and then I'm going to fold them in and fold the folded edge to meet this loose edge. And with it being wet glue, I am going to have to hold it in place for a second or two. Then I'm just going to bring over and then bring this one in. So I'm going to fold this one back out of the way and bring this one in. And just line up your folded edge with your loose edge. Hold those corners together for now. And then obviously this is going to be my top. So again, I'm going to put glue on the 2 small tabs and fold those in. And that's the little box made. Now, when you look at it, sometimes when you've folded in, where I didn't notch on the corner, sometimes it does stick out a little bit. And if it bothers you, you know, just trim it off. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. That's why I didn't particularly notch it. So my little melt fits perfectly inside. That's my little box. I'm going to put on my designer series paper. I'm using wet glue being as I've got it out. Now this is script, so I'm going to make sure this is the right way up, although you're not really going to see it because we're going to put, you know, the stamped image over it in a minute. So I'm just going to bring her back in now. I'm going to bring in some blends. I've got some light smoky slate, light pool party, but Bermuda Bay light I think is going to be similar, so I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to bring in another colour I think, but we'll see in a minute. So with the light smoky slate, I'm just going to colour in this bit on the bottom where, just so she's grounded. And I'm going to colour her hair in. You know, and this is just quick colouring. I'm not doing anything special. I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to use the fine end, and I'm just going to colour the flower in her hair. Pool party on a dress. So let's just see. Not sure how this is going to look. Just to give her a bit of colour. Because she's got, these stamps have got a lot of shading built into them already. So they don't actually need much. And then I'm going to bring in my light petal pink. And I'm just going to colour in her face and her little hands. Then the rhinestone is going to go in the middle of the flower. I'm going to pop this up on a couple of our bigger dimensionals. And pop that there. And then with the Follow Your Bliss, I want to cut it up. And that's why I wasn't sure whether to use the grey or the white. I think I'll try the grey. So let's see. So if I put that there, maybe those there. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to do it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Don't need much, just a little dab. I'll put that one like that. and these two like this. There you go, and there it is. So that's today's little project. So they would be very quick and easy to make. Just put a little tea light in them, and as I say, you know, make them for craft fairs, give them as teacher thank you gifts at Christmas, little stocking fillers maybe, you know, for a friend at work, something like that. Cheap and easy to make, not a lot of supplies, and you could sit and, you know, cut all your cardstock and your layers one night, do your stamping and do your colouring, and you've got a quick and simple project. So I hope you like that. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.